We're under a weather impact alert day for the next several days as we look back at what happened a year ago. Hurricane Helene became a tropical storm when it impacted South Carolina, but still the damage was done in areas across the Midlands, including Lexington County. We have with us now members of the Lexington County First Response Team. We're going to begin with Aline Herzog. She is the Assistant Emergency Manager at the Lexington County Emergency Management Division. A year ago, you guys were probably swamped with phone calls for help, right?
Yes, we were. We received around 802 phone calls in 911 in 24-hour time frame.
Was there one part of the county that perhaps was worse than another?
It was Batesburg, Leesville, and part of the Chapin area.
All right, and what were most of those calls about, if you can remember?
Trees on houses, trees in the roadways, power lines, houses on fire, people trapped inside homes.
Right. All right, we also have with us Captain Sean O'Neill and Battalion Chief Blake Day with the Lexington County Fire Department. Blake, let's begin with you. Are there any calls in particular that stand out to you from a year ago?
We had one structure house detached garage. With units taking them so long to get there, we were by ourselves with one fire truck about 30 minutes, and we got the fire knocked down, and I had to make the call because trees were falling down all around us, and for the safety of our crews, I told them we had to pull out and shelter in place back at the station, and we ceased responses until we got to go ahead that it was safe to get back out.
And you've been doing this job how long?
23 years now.
Is this one of the worst episodes you've had to go through as far as this hurricane a year ago?
Yeah, for storm purposes, yes, sir.
Right, Sean, what about you? Is there anything that stands out from a year ago?
Yeah, I think the second tree on the house that we went to, I remember the lady had lost her house in Matthew. Same house was rebuilt and got hit again with another big tree. But for the most part, every house we went to, either we were able to help them out or they were already out when we got there.
And we're looking at some images from a year ago in Lexington County. Let's talk about lessons learned, because here we are a year later, and you know, as fate would have it, there looks to be another tropical system that could be impacting the area Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Aline, what are some of the lessons learned here from a year ago?
You never know what to expect. Every storm is different, so we're just trying to be as prepared as we can be. I know we're standing up our EOC already starting Monday, running on a 24-hour operations until the storm comes through and leaves the area.
Have you guys used this as any kind of training purposes over the last year at all to prepare for a future hurricane?
We usually do pretty good with preparation. Normally a couple days beforehand, we'll make sure generators fueled up, chainsaws are good to go, bring extra uniforms and food to make sure everything's safe at home ahead of time.
All right, so is there any particular advice you'd like to give our viewers tonight? Because again, we know this was a year ago and hard to believe, but here we go again. Is there any particular advice out there to give residents now to prepare?
Always be prepared. There is a lot of information out there that you can get, just so you prepare for anything, especially for power outage, for medical emergencies, for the people that are on oxygen. Make sure you have enough oxygen, medicine, and everything that you can possibly need to survive at least 7 days if there's no power.
And Sean, what would you tell our viewers out there tonight? Why should they call the fire department when the hurricane or tropical system happens next week in the area?
Just try to prioritize the emergencies, not just every branch that falls down or every tree in the road. We get swamped with those calls. Just try to remember life safety and preparedness, and just looking out for the elderly and those that can't take care of themselves.
Well, I know you guys, your families are at home, and you guys are out trying to serve and protect the residents of Lexington County. I want to thank all three of you for what you guys do for the community. You give your time, and your families give their time as well. So we thank you, and we thank your families as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A reminder that coming up tonight at 7, we're going to have more on Hurricane Helene. We're going to look back our 1 year later special. It airs tonight at 7 right here on News 19 and on WLTX Plus.